So I'm essentially just going to talk about hitting, what I'm looking for as a hitting coach. I was supposed to have a lesson tonight, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the gentleman couldn't make it, had some other obligations that came up. So tonight we're just going to have a hit chat, chit chat.
Hello and welcome to Hit Chat Chit Chat.
My name's Connor Reynolds.
On today's podcast, we are actually going to be going over
Essentially just going to talk about hitting, how much can go forward. I absolutely love the swing being compared to a cattle, scapular muscle. And what I'm going to look to try and do throughout the entire swing is build that tension.
if you are a coach that is unwilling to ask why and the how of how to do something, and you are doing a disservice to your players.
My goal is to try and make every single kid a Ken Griffey. Strider is here. The reason I like the cricket bat is it's flat. Thank you for the sub, my guy. I really appreciate it. What else do we got for the folks? There we go. We should be live. If you guys have anything specific you guys want to talk about, let me know in the comments section. I'll be able to see those right here. And we can go from there. But essentially, I'm just going to talk about what I'm looking for as a coach. One major thing that I think has been a big revelation in hitting with slow motion is you always heard about squish the bug. Coaches are always huge on squishing the bug. I believe why squishing the bug was such a big ordeal was because you were able to see really good hitters. They were starting right here, and then without slow motion in old times, they would finish here. From point A to point B, what coaches would see starting here with my foot here, and they would see hitters finish here with their foot here. So if you start here, finish here, no slow motion, you're just going to go straight to it. Straight to it. If you got some comments rolling in here, you're just going to go straight to it. So for a long time, I even was taught this a little bit when I was younger. I remember elementary, middle school, hearing about squish the bug, such a big ordeal. Just from seeing from point A to point B, they would see that. What we're starting to realize is that is not the case whatsoever. If you hear someone telling your kids to squish the bug, that's the absolute worst thing you can do in the world. All good hitters become weightless on their back foot. What I mean by that, you have hitters like Albert Pujols, the machine, back when he was with St. Louis. Okay, his big ordeal, wide stance. He just went with the heel up, heel down, and go. Didn't really look like much. Didn't really look like he was getting weightless, as I'm saying, on the back foot. But all becoming weightless is gaining tension in the back half and that knee, having it snap, and just not having any weight on the back half. Weight distribution has been a big talk about with strides and everything, and this is how it happens, is this. When that weight distribution goes from that back foot, because we're going to be in athletic stance, so we're going to be like 50-50, 60-40 in some cases, okay? That weight has to go somewhere, okay? And that is going to be at one point all going into the front foot, not on the front foot, but going into the front foot. And that happens from becoming weightless in a snap-like motion, and you fall here. That's why hitters were landing there. Coaches are saying squish the bug. Why that was such a big ordeal. Squish the bug. Where are we at? We're at 1. Squish the bug. It's because they would see that. They would just see this. Landing here. Going, all right, point A to point B. Squish the bug. Kids weren't getting those hips all the way through. That was their key word. Squish that bug. Now we're seeing that back foot becomes a little bit weightless. Right? That back foot. Let me hit another one. So that heel is going to be in the ground, okay? So we're going to be building tension with that back foot in the ground. We're going to build tension, okay? Our lower half's going to go at the swing. Upper half is going to stay here. We're going to build tension, and then it's either A, my hip dislocates out of socket because I'm building tension, because I'm not trying to let this knee go forward. I don't want everything to go forward. It wants to, but I'm trying to keep this upper half closed off so I can build tension. So I'm going to leave this back half kind of in that same spot. I'm going to try and rotate. That's going to build tension, and at some point, it's going to snap. Otherwise, my hip would dislocate, right? It's going to snap, and that's when we become weightless. You have hitters like Bryce Harper that have a lot where you can see a lot going on. So we're going to be here. Bryce Harper is a big guy with it. Like I mentioned earlier, Albert Pujols, small with it, okay? Alrighty. So that's been kind of like a big revelation for me, with kind of just understanding why that's important. Kind of figuring out, I think it's funny too, kind of seeing the change from not old school, but just the fact that I'm assuming this could make what we know. Oh man, let me get that. Oh, that you guys can't even see it. It makes one out of you and me, but they would just see guys start here, guys finish here. And if you have no way to slow that down, and if you're not specifically like looking for that, then you're going to miss that, and you're just going to go along with Squish the Bug. What Squish the Bug is actually going to do is stop that like hip snap that we're looking for. I was talking about it earlier, with that knee stays in the same spot, and why we want that snap is because that is what allows the weight distribution going from back half to front half into the ball, is that snap. If we try and squish the bug, if we try and keep that toe planted in the ground as we go, we're not going to become weightless. Then we're not going to have a snap. If we don't have a snap in our swing, if we're not firing off, how can I... Some of you, it says I can bring you guys on the camera. That's wild. So when we keep those feet, that back foot in the ground for the squish the bug action, okay, we're losing that quickness. We're losing that snap that we're looking for. All of the good hitters have it. Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey, Manny Ramirez, Albert Pujols, all of the great ones. They're able to swing a full swing with a late decision. They're able to be fully committed but be late. How are they able to do that? It's because their swings are quick and sudden. Okay? If we're on our toes, if we're looking to try and squish that bug, if we're trying to be here with it, not allowing that weight distribution, not allowing that tension to be created when this lower half goes and this upper half follows, if we don't allow that, then our swing is not going to be sudden. If our swing isn't sudden, then we have to make the choice, right? We have to, instead of just, whoa, because it's sudden, we have to make the choice. We have to say, all right, swing with the hips, swing with the arm. We have to make those decisions because it's not a reaction. It's not a quick, sudden decision. We don't have that ability because our swing isn't snapping. Bah. It's because we're trying to stay on those toes. So there's my little spiel on Squish the Bug. I've been listening. There's a gentleman named Richard Shank, teacher man. He's an interesting character. Interesting character. But I've been listening silently and just trying to figure out what he says, because he doesn't come out straight and say what he's looking for. If anyone out there in the chat knows what I'm talking about, he doesn't come out and just say what he's looking for. He's one of those guys where he says, if you see it, then you know it. Well, you can't teach that way, right? You can't learn that way. So what I'm starting to see with the suddenness and with what he's trying to get is a quick snap-like move as late as we possibly can. So instead of trying to learn and work off speed, once we've already made that plant, we're going to be making that decision with our foot in the air. We're going to be able to say, oh, that's a curveball. Where's that going? Low and away. Okay. Boom, foot hits the ground, and I snap. If that's not the case, if I can't make that late decision, then I have to do where I'm here and kind of going, because I'm not sure. Because it takes me, I don't know what it takes me to make that decision, that point of no return. I'll bring it up here in a sec. I have a little whiteboard of what I think the swing is. But it all like stems from the squish the bug thought. For those who are just joining, squish the bug is what I'm kind of harping on today. What we're looking to talk about was a long time ago. You know, we don't have that slow motion stuff that we have now, which I'll say some coaches are so overusing the slow motion. Hand up, this guy, been one of those guys where you just think it's the coolest thing in the world because of how slow they're moving. But then you start to desensitize how like quick, sudden, and like fierce the movement of a swing is. You start to like not think about what the swing actually is, which is a quick, sudden burst. So easy, any coaches out there, which like I said, hand up, I would go through the coach's eye and do the slow motion screen record, bring it over, upload the slow motion in the coach's eye, slow motion again, screen record, just to see, you know, is that happening or is that happening? And honestly, once you start getting to those points, like with your clients, depending on what your client base is, right? But that's a thing that I had to like kind of pick up. And who did I hear that from? I was watching a podcast with oh man, who was it? Richard Shank was in it, but they started talking about it. And it was a gentleman that's a pitcher, and he said he does a little bit too much with the slow motion. He had to kind of like remind himself, and that's the little thing I had to remind myself too. But like I said, once we start getting into it, what we're really looking for is the exact actually opposite of squishing the bug. The exact opposite. We're wanting to try and build as much tension with this leg as we possibly can for now. We're trying to see, can we build tension so that way, like a rubber band, or like I was talking, had a lesson this past weekend. Gentleman said, you guys remember those little plastic toy guns that had like the rubber band and then the little blade that you would like crank up and would get all the tension would spin and you would release it and the thing would go zhoo. Okay, so so that's what we're like kind of looking to do. We're kind of looking up, we're trying to be able to swing before we even know if we want to. Like we want to be ready in case we do have that fastball right down the middle, or that hanging curveball, or that pitch we're looking for. We don't want to say, oh man, that's my pitch, let me get ready now. If that's the case, if you guys ever had that where you're like, oh, that was right there. You didn't at that current time, because throughout my career, I had it sometimes and then did it, and that's when you seeing the ball like a grapefruit, is because that ball is getting closer before you have to make that decision where you're like, yep, I want to swing. That ball gets a little bit closer. So that allows you to get it deep. Yeah, so we're trying to get that ball deep. We're trying to be able to have that decision as late as possible, okay? And that happens with building of the tension and then letting it be one quick snap. Like I said, a rubber band gun. Spin it up, coil it up, be ready. All right, I do want that pitch, and then we can boom whenever we would like. Also, guys, let me know in the comments. This is a brand new mic. If it's too loud when I swing or when I hit, like if the if that's like too loud, let me know. Not saying that like, I'm just saying I don't know how sensitive this thing is. And then also the ping of the bat, I'm gonna go to wood. I'm gonna go to wood. You know what? I'm gonna go to wood. I might as well just do it. Alrighty, so we're here. We out here. Okay. That staying on the topic discussion of squishing the bug, what squishing the bug means. What up, JJ? How you doing, my guy? So those guys, the story that I was just telling actually about the rubber band gun, that was JJ. He's in the stream right now. What up, JJ? How you doing, my guy? Hope to see you out here soon for another lesson. Let me know. Okay? Let's get that figured out. Why squishing the bug is literally the worst thing in the world. We've talked about how we're trying to become weightless. We're trying to allow this to be just a quick, sudden snap. If we're keeping weight on that toe, if we're out here trying to stay on that toe, okay, we're not going to be able to build tension and release when it wants, because we're trying to keep weight in that toe. Another thing, when we use toes, if you guys are able to, let's stand up. Let's kind of get the thing is everything, my man. Let's get into our toes real quick. Everybody, we're going to stand up. We're going to kind of rock onto our toes. I want us to feel one leg on our hamstring and one hand on our hamstring, one hand on our quad. And I want us to try and figure out which muscles are firing the most. We're going to start to figure out muscles on our front half, like our quads, bicep, pecs. Everything for those is used to push. So when we're using our quads, push. When we're on our toes, push. Okay? When we're hitting, we don't want to push. We want to create resistance within. If we're on our toe here, if I'm here, I get onto that toe, I'm starting to use my quad. My quad is a push muscle. I'm not wanting to use that. I'm wanting to use my big muscles in the back, okay? The ones that I use to squat, the ones that I use deadlift. We're going to pull up. Where's this at? Oh, there it is. Let me pull up. There's a gentleman that just deadlifted like 690 pounds or some absurd amount. Let me pull it up and have it exactly for you guys. Where's this at? Where is this at? Ah, here it is. Coming over to you guys. So, whoops. I want us to notice, do you guys think he's more toes or more heels right here? Okay. If that was the worst audio quality that you've ever seen in your life, very sorry. I'm still trying to figure this out. So if you guys hop in the comments, if you guys are able to give me feedback, criticism, give me it all. I want the good, I need the bad, okay? Trying to make this the best coaching stream possible. My goal is to be able to get my knowledge and everyone else's knowledge in the comments out there. I want to get all of the knowledge out there. If you think what I teach is wrong, awesome. Tell me why you think it's wrong. Let's have an open discussion about it. Let's try and figure out why I'm wrong. Let's try and figure out why you're right. And then the exact opposite way, okay? That's the biggest deal that I think people are scared about. I've been seeing hitting Twitter. Can be a little nasty. That's honestly what it needs to be about, is trying to grow as a community, get the knowledge out there. This is a free platform that I'm trying to give out. I tried doing YouTube lessons not YouTube lessons, but I was doing YouTube videos for a little bit, getting those out, and I was starting to realize, what if that kid that is, we all know the kid that gets way too far out here, Hey, that was me, okay? The kid that gets way too far out here, that kid needs to get told to stay back, right? What about the kid that's scared to go forward, right? That kid needs to get told to get moving forward. We have to grow that tension, and we can get into those discussions. But everybody's different, right? Everyone has a different motor. Everyone has a different mind. Everyone has a different feel. But the reel's the same. That's the one thing that we stay constant. So if we can all get on the same page of what's real, understand that, and understand our feel, we can master it. We can get it going, right? That's what all this is about, to try and figure it out. So I'm going to keep rocking. My goal, what I'm going to be trying to do, is the exact opposite of squish the bug. I am trying to keep my foot in the ground, though. So there's a difference. So there's the feel versus real. The feel of me trying to keep this foot in the ground is because I'm wanting to get going. Everything's wanting to move forward. Okay? But to grow tension, something has to stay back. To grow tension, to make that swing snap, something has to stay back. And that, for right now, is going to be my knee. That's going to be the one thing. We're here. So if I'm here, I'm going to try and leave that knee in the same spot. And that's going to grow tension from my knee to my hip. If this goes over, no tension. No tension. Because I'm trying to grow it in my groin and throughout my hamstring. So I'm trying to say here, leave that knee in the same spot. Let's all do it together if you have the space for it. Let's check the comments for a sec. So we're here. We're going to leave that knee in the same spot. Let's all do it together if we can. What we're looking to try and feel is tension here. Mostly here, but that's where we're growing the tension, is in the groin area. So we're going to go from here. We're just going to feel that. Leaving that knee in the same spot. If you need to, watch it. Okay? Your body can move without your head looking that way, right? So we can sit here. We're going to look at the knee. Going to get into our stance. I'm going to feel that tension grow back here. And what I'm going to look to try and do throughout the entire swing is build that tension. Okay? So I want that tension to build through here. Once the swing starts, once this snaps, why it's more important. The topic that we said today was going to be squishing the bug, and how that's literally the worst thing in the world that we can possibly do. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that foot in the ground. Feel that tension. Okay? Because we're going to try and build that through here. Once that leg snaps, that tension's going to go into my right in here. Now I'm feeling it in my scap. And now I'm finally releasing it. Allowing this part of the bat to have the most amount of acceleration, right? Because that's what we want. We want bat head acceleration. Because that's what's hitting the ball. That's what has to get going, okay? Doesn't matter how fast our hands can go, even though blast motion does have that as a data statistic. We're trying to get that bat head going, because that's what's going to hit the ball. Now, do we want to get around it? No. So we can just talk about that in a future episode. But getting back to trying to keep that heel in the ground, trying to allow, let's see, heels to the ground, trying to allow that tension to grow, because the longer we can have, holy wow, the longer we can have that tension grow, the better. The more tension we have, the bigger the pop, okay? Imagine it like a balloon, all right? The tension in the body is the air in the balloon. The more air in the balloon, the bigger the pop, okay? So the more tension that we can grow, the more we can keep this heel in the ground, the more we can allow these hips to go, the more we can keep this upper half closed, the more tension we're going to have build. The more tension, the bigger the pop. Bigger the pop, harder you hit the ball. And that's all that we're trying to build here, right? Again, if you guys need to comment in the comment inside, let's see. I am just currently typing in the comments. Oh, there we go. So, if you got comments, bigger the pop, the less the feel. Hey, JJ, my guy. So, talking about staying away from Squish the Bug. We're getting into like a whole loop here. And I absolutely love it. We can go down this rabbit hole all dang day. All dang day. See that catch? All dang day. So, players have talked about, and what if you don't believe in the snap, or if you don't believe in the tension and what I'm talking about, why it's so important to do that, we're just going to throw a little science. And if you disagree, that's totally understandable. Well, totally fine. Comment below. Let's chat about it, and let's figure out why we disagree, why we're not on the same page. My goal is for everyone to be on the same page. My goal is to try and make every single kid a Ken Griffey. Is it possible? No. But that's my goal. And that's every kid's goal in the world, is to be like Ken Griffey. Maybe not Ken Griffey now, it's probably Mike Trout for most kids, but you know what I mean. Like, that's the goal, right? So, when we build tension in the lower half, oh, whoops, I accidentally pinned the wrong tweet. I pinned JJ's tweet. Whoops. Unpin, pin. Yeah, I can only have one. Okay, so when we build tension in the lower half, and if it properly goes up, we call it the kinetic chain, okay? Potential energy turns into kinetic. Well, we have to have that potential to allow it, and we have to keep it there to allow it to turn into kinetic. So when that tension rolls up the chain, that knee stays in the same spot, these hips try and go. That's going to build up my calf, work into my hip, work up into my back, and here. Everyone's had that one time, whether it's beer league softball, little league, hitting the game-winning home run, college. I don't think I have a pro in the stream, but if you're a pro when you're in the pros, we all know that feeling when we don't feel it, right? The ball goes 1,000 feet, but you didn't feel a single thing. It was absolutely blank, okay? And you're like, whoa, I felt nothing, right? Why? Well, I believe I'm going to tell you why. So, when we allow that tension to build up, and when the tension is released, okay, you kind of just go into a coast. Scientifically, once you've used all of your kinetic energy, that's all of your kinetic energy, right? You can't make any more. But the thought is that you want to continue, right? You don't want to just stop. You want to keep driving. But once you lose your tension, once that pops, and once this upper half pops, we have no tension. We're not flexing. There's nothing, okay? Because we've lost all our tension. Everything's turned into kinetic. It's all gone, okay? And that ball, that bat is just riding in those hands, and all of a sudden just pop, and you just keep going. And you don't feel anything, okay? The recoil, that shock, you have no tension. Biceps not holding on, scap's not holding on, everything's fine. That's why you don't feel it. That's why it feels like nothing, but the ball goes so far. That's why we want to build tension in the lower half, so we can pop it like a balloon. If you don't build tension in the lower half, if you try and stay with a squish the bug mentality, If you try and stay with the squish the bug mentality, you're not going to be able to have that pop of tension with the lower half. You're not going to be able to execute and have a sudden swing, okay? So I'm going to try and grow the tension, let it snap. It's a slow gather move. It's more important to feel the tension. We can do it all together right here. We're going to stand up. Watching Coach Connor. Okay, we're going to stand up. Whew. We're just going to feel this, okay? We're going to make it to where our shoulders would fit in between our feet, okay? So we're here. We're going to leave our knee in the same spot, okay? You know what? We're going to start over. How many people we got in here? We got 2 people. All right, this is going to be fun. 2 people in here. We're going to have a little connection. So, we're going to stand up. We're here, okay? As if we were going to go to the bathroom. That first motion, it's not here, okay? It's here. That's the first motion that we make, right? That's getting into our glutes, getting into our hamstrings. That first move, okay? So let's get into that first right here. Back flexed, okay? I'm in my heels. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see. I'm in my heels. Toes are off the ground. I'm feeling a stretch in the back of my hamstring, okay? Just like that deadlifter I was showing earlier. We're getting back here, right? Woo. We're getting back here, okay? So same posture right now. Leaving that knee in the same spot. We're going to go forward. We're going to grow the tension from here to here through the stride. Leaving our knee in the same spot. Ooh, do we feel that? It doesn't have to be a fast move, okay? If you guys watch here, I want you guys to watch my knee and the correlation to my toes, okay? I'm trying to stay away from my knees going over my toes. So I'm here, because what that'll do, that'll activate my quads. I want to keep my glutes and my hamstrings going. Don't want my quads. My quads are pushers. I'm not trying to push, okay? So, boom, I'm here. Forward. Home. Forward. Feeling that tension grow through here, okay? That's going to be that first step. If you tried it out and if you felt something, let me know down in the comments. Let me know below. Okay, so what we're going to try and do is build that tension from the lower half, okay? So I'm going to leave my foot in the same spot, leave that knee in the same spot, work forward, and just fall. The goal is to not have a huge, major, hard swing, okay? We want a swing that is a reactionary swing, a domino-like effect. When your swing is reactionary, you don't have to think about it. You make the one decision, okay? Like a catapult. I absolutely love the swing being compared to a catapult, okay? So, this is going to be our string right here. You know, when they pull back the catapult and they put the rocks in, and they have the rope, and they go, and then, right here. This is going to be our rope, okay? My tension is going to be a not metaphoric, but you guys can't see the tension, but you can feel it. So if we do this together, I know you will be able to feel it, okay? I don't know if you guys can see, Strider just woke up. Come on, babies. You guys, this is Strider. He'll be joining in on our lessons all the time. Hey, big fella. How you doing, babies? Oh, shake it off. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so, man, catapult-like swing. So the tension will be the rock that they fill up, okay? And then I'm just going to hold. That tension when they're pulling it back, that's us doing our coil, okay? That's us. And when I say coil, I'm skipping ahead, and I apologize, okay? When I say coil, I mean tension. We're trying to build the tension. That's what coiling is. Coiling is just building the tension, okay? And in your swing, it should never be built. It should never stop. It should always be constantly growing till a snap. Anytime you have a pause in that swing, it's not reactionary. Something's not going to cause your swing to go because it's stopped. The swing has to be reactionary. The swing isn't reactionary, it's not sudden. If your swing isn't sudden, then you can't make last second decisions with full intent behind it. You can still make last second decisions, but it's not going to have everything behind it, right? So we're looking to build that tension, build, let it snap, okay? So, Shar, come over here, babies. Come here. Oh, another big stretches. Another big stretch. Oh. Strider is here for every single lesson. Come here. Unless requested not, but we haven't got many of those. Lay down. Hey, lay down. Let's go. Come on. Dude. Come here. Good boys. Hey, baby. Oh, yeah. Hi. All right, lay down. Good boy. Thank you, sir. Stay. Good boy. So, what we're looking to do is build that tension up. Let that here go. Remember, we're trying to stay away from the quads, away from our toes. We're trying to stay in those big muscles, those deadlifting muscles, those squatting muscles, those back muscles back here, okay? We're trying to let that tension build up, and then go. If we can make it, if we can time our snap, when we lose our tension, when it gets released, when we pop that balloon, when that happens, and if we can time it up to where our bat is on plane with the pitch here, you're golden, pony boy. You're good to go, right? The question is, how much tension can we build and still be on time, okay? Because you can always have the Happy Gilmore approach. Every person, every golfer has always done it at least once in their life. The Happy Gilmore, because you get acceleration, okay? You feel quicker. But I'm sure a lot of people have failed doing the Happy Gilmore and just aren't too sure why. We talked about it a little bit earlier. If you're new, you just joined. This part of the bat is supposed to be the part that moves around the most, okay? So if I'm here holding my bat, which end of the bat is moving faster than the other? Or are they going the same? If you said going the same, you are correct, okay? They're going the same speed, okay? I had control on both of them. No matter what I did, they're going to be going the same speed. Now, feel like May 4th. Okay, now which one is moving faster? I mean, I guess you can say both of them since they're attached. But which one is traveling at a faster rate? This guy, right? So that's what we're trying to get to have the most amount of acceleration. The only way to do that is to have that be the furthest thing out. But we don't want to get around out here. So how do we do that? How do we stay? How do we keep tension, let it snap, allow this end to build and be the fastest part of the swing without getting around your scapular muscle, okay? So we've talked about building up tension through the lower half. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? 8:14, okay? We're building up tension with the lower half. Our upper half has the same type of tension that we're looking to build because it travels up, okay? But we hold tension from stride. So what I mean by that is it's not it builds up through here our foot's on the ground, and now it's a scapular muscle go. It can be. The really good ones can do it because they're able to go from not swinging to swinging so quick. That's the suddenness. That's what makes them really good. If you're able to do that, that's amazing. Not everyone can. But everyone can being a scap muscle. Does that make sense? So a lot of the guys that I work with, there are some kids that aren't the most athletically gifted. So what I do is I have them get into the spot if possible. Obviously you don't want to preset our entire body angle. But what we can preset, we do. So that way it's not a necessity of getting into it. It's just staying there. Okay. So if you're one that struggles with the knee staying in the same spot, and you're here and you're going and you're trying to get it timed up to like right there, and you're just not getting it, instead of trying to make it a quick sudden move, when you're here, boom, in your stance, just get it there right now. Keep it there. Boom. And we can go towards it, okay? So it is possible, what I mean, to load up, scap load early, and we're going to keep that, okay? We're going to keep that. So that way, when the tension does travel up and this does snap, we're going to have a lot of acceleration coming around a turn here, okay? This bat, since it weighs a little bit more than our hands, is going to be the fastest thing going around since we have created tension. So it's going to want to get out here, okay? Because of this turn, you guys know what I'm talking about. You're got nothing in the back seat except for groceries. They're all behind the driver's seat. You're driving. You make that left turn. All the groceries are now behind the passenger seat. That's what I mean. That same thing is happening to the bat. I feel like there's vascular acceleration. There's got to be some word for it. I'm going to call my buddy after this. I'll let him know, and I'll let you guys know. Tomorrow. What? Tomorrow. Yes, I'm going to be streaming every single day. Like, it's either this or video games. I'm not good at video games. All my friends are better. So instead of like being the worst one and having it backpacked everywhere, I was coming here where I'm kind of good and we can chat about hitting the whole time. And I honestly love it. Get to hang out with Strider in here and we get to build tension. Let us not. Okay? So going back to the previous topic that we talked about of squishing the bug. Okay? Why we're not looking to squish the bug. And we've had a consistent stream of like 2 viewers, totally okay, but I just don't think those 2 viewers have been the same from start to finish. So I'm going to loop back around if you are the same 2 people. Okay, so what we're talking about today is squishing the bug, all right? What we're looking to do is not squish the bug. Squish the bug was brought around from coaches that just didn't have video, that just didn't see the quick, sudden snap of the lower half that happens and the weightless that happens with the back foot. That right there, okay? It may not be a big move. Albert Pujols, the machine, back with the Cardinals, he's been rough these last few years. He's been rough. Little ones. I don't know if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, but the little ones. Go back, watch St. Louis Cardinals. Albert Pujols. Go watch The Machine when he was well-oiled, WD-40 everywhere, right? He was a well-oiled firing machine. Incredible. Not a big move. He was a wide guy. Go heel up, heel down, fire, okay? It didn't look like much. But you take slow motion, and we're here. He's in his stance. We go here, plants, snaps, boo. It's a small move. Boo, right there. It has to be a small move for him. He's super wide out. It's not going to be a big move because he's not having a lot of weight distribution go forward. I talked about it earlier. It's not about how much can go forward, but it's about how much tension you can build. That's the most important deal, is how can you build tension? How can you build tension? Because if you don't build tension, then you can't get a snap. If you don't get a snap, you can't have a sudden swing. Don't have a sudden swing, you're having to say, barrel, go here. Well, I take that back. Hands here, barrel here. You have to think about all of everything happening. It's not just a domino effect. It's not reactionary. It doesn't just scientifically happen. You have to force it to happen. I'm sorry, guys. Science is going to be a lot quicker with what we're looking to do, snap and build, getting from point A to point B, than you are telling yourself to go there. Okay? We have to build tension so we can release the tension. Okay? So let's do it again here. Again, if you guys have anything any topics that you guys are looking to discuss, any drills that I look to do, have any of my players do, what's the purpose of them, give me it all, okay? Let's chat about it. We're going to be here for a little bit. Got my water bottle right there. We're rolling, okay? So a drill that I like to do with these with a lot of my guys to feel them build tension, for them to see their knee not move, is honestly just really slowing it down, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to let me move this bucket over here super quick. Oh, almost grabbed the metal bat. So what we're going to look to do is going to be in our stance. We're going to go from stance to stride. Well, okay. We're going to go from stance to foot plant. Okay. From foot plant, I have what's called max tension. Okay. Before we get to there, we have to make sure, did we go from stance to foot plant without my knee moving forward? So to give you guys the side-by-side. And I'm going to figure out a way. I have a little ordeal here set up. I'm new to the streaming ordeal. I'll figure out a way to get a camera this way as well. I'm not sure what the quality is going to be. And it's not going to be here on Facebook. So this has been like a whole ordeal with Facebook trying to stream, YouTube trying to stream. Right now, I don't know why, but YouTube's not letting me stream. Not that they're not letting me. It's not happening. I'm not too sure why. I have this sounds weird, but a player of mine, his brother, really good at like streaming stuff. So he's gonna help me out, fix all of this. So we should be up and running smooth here in a little bit. But we'll be here together. We'll be here for a while. So what we're gonna look to do: build the tension, build the tension. Oh. We're doing our drill. Ha! So we're in our stance. We're going to look to go to stride, making sure that knee isn't moving forward. When that knee moves forward, I don't build tension. Okay, I want you to look back. Parents, look at your high school hitters. Look at your youth hitters. Okay, if you're a high school hitter, if you're a younger hitter, watch your swing. Go compare it to your favorite player. Okay, go compare it to your favorite player. Just look at the knees. Look at the knees, okay? So we're going to go here. We're going to be in our stance. We're going to do our stride. Looking to grow tension from here to here. Then from here, we're going to get into what I call max tension, okay? It's right before we swing. It's right before we snap. Because when we generally, and there's levels to it that we can work on. Okay, but to start off, kids they're not able to plant swing. Okay, so we get to the root of it. We try and figure out what has to move prior to the swing to allow the swing to happen. This is how we allow for a sudden type swing. Okay, this is so we are ready, locked, and loaded. Imagine a bow hunter. Okay, if I was sitting here, bow, I hope. Bow, okay? If I'm sitting here, actually, where is that bow? So if any of you guys don't know, big bow hunting family. So I have what I thought to be a bow around here that I could use to demonstrate. I guess I don't. Shider tried dipping. Oh wait, yes I do. It's back here. I lied. I lied. Alright. So, come on, babies. Yay! That's Shiders. Oh, big tail. Big wags. Oh, yeah. So, bow hunter here. If I was hunting and if I saw an animal, I could not make the decision to shoot right now. I would first have to load the arrow, draw back, and then release. Okay. Well, if we make our decision before all of that happens, that animal's gone, right? Oh man, look at that. Gone. Okay. So, this is an example. What equivalent to of that would be loaded arrow, ready to go, looking for prey. That's what we're looking to do when hitting. Okay? In our stance, we're going to load that arrow, and we're going to be ready. We're going to pull it back, and we're ready. Whenever, there it is, boom, we're ready to go. Because our swing is a sudden swing. We build tension, then we release tension. Okay? If you guys have anything that you're looking to specifically talk about, let me know in the comments. I got it right here. Where are you trying to go, cutie patootie? Oh, there you go. He's got satellites for ears. Literally anything gets into him, so he's kind of spazzing out right now for a sec. He'll be okay. So, we're going to get back into it. The drill that I'm looking for, the drill that I work with a lot, we're going to be in our stance, okay? We're going to go stride, foot plant, looking to keep that knee in the same spot so we build tension in our lower half and our groin. From here, I'm going to get to what I call max tension. Max tension to me is the moment before you swing. Literal moment. The moment before that needle goes into the balloon, that full balloon, and it makes it pop. That's max tension, okay? So we're going to go from stance, stride, leave the knee, okay? We're going to get to max tension. Boom. It doesn't have to be a big move. Okay? It just has to be an efficient move. Alright? So, from here, I'm just trying to not go forward, but to turn and rotate within. Dude, struggling, huh? Yeah? Come here. Good boys. Come here. Yeah. So, I'm in my stance. Work forward. Leave the knee in the same spot. I'm going to turn this knee. Because what I'm looking to do is grow this way. If I don't grow this way, that means I stood up. If I stand up, that means I'm in my toes. That means I'm in my front muscles. Those are the muscles that are used to push, okay? We're not trying to push. We're trying to pull. We're trying to get that thing in there. If we have to push to swing, then that means we have to make our commitment to the pitch way sooner than we would like, okay? The further into here, the closer to the catcher's mitt that we can make a decision and still be at 100% with our swing. Because, I mean, obviously, you are chilling, my guy. You look good. Yeah. You look real good. Oh, don't. Sorry. So, we're looking to build. Let's snap. Come on, babes. Come over here. Yep. Here. We're looking to get into max tension. Good boys, lay down. Oh, yeah, lay down. We're looking to get into max tension. That's the moment right before our lower half snaps. We're going to get into that. So we're here, going to get into max tension. When that happens, we're getting this basket's starting to lay flat. So our elbows are going to do a little switcheroo, okay? If you're this guy, gal, softball, that's here, okay? Look at where my bat is. My bat's not going to get onto plane unless I switch these elbows, okay? So as I'm getting into max tension, this is happening. I'm from here, and then we would give a nice few seconds, give a visual check. See, is my knee in the same spot that it was? Do I feel tension? Okay. Am I having the force this way, or is the force going this way? If the force is going forward, we don't have our tension, because our tension should be in this back knee, not allowing us to go forward, because that's how we're building, right? So this is going forward, this is going this way, knees stay in the same spot. It's more important to feel and then go from there. So to have a small move, if I'm here going into max tension, it's better to have a smaller move, feel the tension, let it snap, than to have a big move and lose that tension. It's a very important move, but a small move. It's a very efficient move that happens within. Okay. So do we have any comments, questions? Nope. Okay. So what we're going to look to do is finish out that drill. So we're going to walk through it together. We're in our stance. We're going to go stride, leaving that knee in the same spot. Okay. We're going to grow to max tension, leave that knee in the same spot, and then from max tension, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, not a very good one. Trying to figure out why, and I think I got it. This wasn't forcing my reaction, my swing to be a reaction. Okay, so what I mean by that, I was in my max tension, and what should be the trigger for this swing, if we're keeping tension, and let me show you what I mean. If we're keeping proper tension, so if I'm here, let's go, let's do it. So if I'm here, this is just going to be a visual representation of the tension growing and losing, okay? So if I'm here, if I'm in my stance, and my knee goes with me, not building tension. If my knee stays, I have tension, okay? If I'm able to get to max tension without losing that, I have a bigger snap, okay? If I get into max tension and do that big move, I lose my tension, okay? So from here, what caused my swing to go was this saying swing, instead of this saying let's go. Does that make sense? If guys aren't on the same page, if I'm not explaining properly, please let me know, okay? But I want this to pull this because of the tension, keeping it tight, okay? Because when there's tension here and this gets pulled, if I keep tension here, that pulls this forward. If I'm really good, I can resist that, and that builds torque through my mid-core, okay? So this snaps, poof, this is going, poof, I'm building tension there, okay? But I want this going out to be the reason this snaps. If that's the case, that means there's constant, if I'm here, pull, 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 snap. If I'm here, pull, and I do that, that's not losing my tension, okay? That's not a snap of tension. That's just me manipulating. A gentleman named Jordan Stauffer, I believe, is with the Cincinnati Reds now. Did rounding third hitting on Twitter. Throws out some really good comparisons to what visuals are. So a lot of you parents, younger hitters, go take a look at that. When I said look at your swing and compare it to your favorite MLB player's swing, why are they different? Go look at his Twitter. He does a really good job of breaking down the differences. Okay. Oh man, kind of went on just a little bit of. Okay. Oh, what was I chit-chatting about? Fudge. Oh well, let's see. All right, so we're going to go back into that drill again. We're going to be in our stance, okay? We're going to stride, looking to keep that knee again in the same spot so we can grow that tension. If we don't grow tension, we can't have a snap. If we don't have a snap, then our swing isn't sudden. Or if our swing isn't sudden, then we have to think about our swing. Okay, we have to say, go, instead of reaction, right? So, I'm in my stance, leaving my knee in the same spot. I'm going to stride, grow to max tension. That's that point. Let's say you're blowing air into a balloon. You know, if you blow too much air into the balloon, it just pops. Well, that moment, right before it pops, that's max tension for that balloon. That's what we're trying to get to here with our body. We're trying to get to max tension, okay? So that way we can, when we do, we're going to start this over. We're in our stance, stride, leave our knee in the same spot, get to max tension. So that way when we do pop, it just goes. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about where do I put my hands. Where's my barrel going? What's supposed to be pulling what? No, it's a reaction. Okay, I'm going to, let's see if I can do this. Going to coil and then just let it all just snap instead of trying to force it to snap. Does that make sense? I hope what I'm saying does. Down in the comments. Let's see, we got 4 people watching still. Thank you guys for staying in. We've kind of rocked out about an hour of this. I want to figure out why YouTube wasn't going live for me, only Facebook. If you're still here in the future, I'm going to look to try and stream every day. Every day I have a lesson. Every time I have a lesson, it's going to be live. So that way you guys can see what I'm working with an actual hitter. While they're picking up baseballs, I'll answer questions on the chat, and we'll just go from there. I'm really excited for you guys to be here in this process. Strider's really excited for you guys to be here in this process. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good boys. Can you sit? Oh, yeah. Can you give me a nice, oh, yeah. And with that, we, ladies and gentlemen, are out.
Thank you guys so much for watching that RBI baseball video. Again, I'm Coach Connor. To my right is where I have all of my information. If you want to get in contact with me, I do lessons, one-on-one, group classes for hitting and infield. If you guys would like more information, check out any of my other social medias. Feel free to reach out. Guys, go ahead, comment down below. Try to let me know you guys watched the entire video. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Go hit some tanks.